Americans are becoming increasingly socially isolated. Today, nearly 30% of American households are single-person households, up from 13% in 1960. Meanwhile, 75% of restaurant traffic happens outside of the restaurant via takeout or app delivery services. And in 2024, the average American young adult spent only 5 hours per week in person with friends, down from nearly 13 hours in 2010. If that sounds worrying, it should. But should we seek remedies for our social isolation in the self-help section or in public policy? I'm a political theorist and ethics professor who teaches a class on social isolation and public policy. Let me explain why policy should be part of the solution. To understand social isolation, it helps to understand American political culture. Americans tend to prioritize individual autonomy. We view politics as a means to ensuring individuals have the freedom to pursue their own good in their own way. This tendency to envision living our best lives as a private project leaves us unprepared to do the work of politics, which, despite what anyone tells you, is acting together in pursuit of a common concern. Technology is profoundly reshaping how we relate to each other. Adolescents now spend almost 8 hours a day looking at screens. That's time not spent in person with friends. Social psychologist Jonathan Haidt has demonstrated that the phone-based childhood goes a long way toward explaining the epidemic of anxiety and depression among adolescents. When automation and globalization hollowed out American manufacturing, millions of workers lost more than a paycheck. They lost a way of life. Unions and factories were once hubs for socialization that integrated workers into their local communities. In their absence, residents of our industrial cities became more isolated and consequently engaged in more self-destructive behaviors. This led to hundreds of thousands of what economists Ann Case and Angus Deaton term deaths of despair, and to declining life expectancy in the United States. And social isolation isn't an exclusively American or Western problem. The Japanese coined a term, hikikomori, to describe someone who spends 6 months or more completely out of social circulation. 3% of Japanese ages 15 to 64 are hikikomori. They might leave home to buy groceries, but some don't even leave their bedrooms. Japan recently created a minister of loneliness to mitigate social isolation. So did the UK. And last year, Gallup reported the highest rates of loneliness in Madagascar. No single policy will cure our epidemic of isolation. Reconnecting with one another will require many different micro-interventions. Those include banning cell phones from schools, investing in public spaces like libraries and senior centers, and subsidizing the third places that foster human connection. We need policies tailored to people experiencing social isolation for different reasons and in different stages of life. We should always ask how our preferred policies will affect social cohesion. Having said all that, the choices individuals make can matter too. Shop at brick-and-mortar stores. Choose the checkout line with a human being. Leave the door to your office or dorm room open so people know it's okay to stop by and talk. Find your favorite community space and become a regular. In the end, it will take thoughtful policy coupled with people deciding to connect to reweave the social fabric that makes our communities healthier, happier, and better able to act together in pursuit of the common good.